Rostov-on-Don, capital of the south of Russia. According to the legend, Peter I came here during his Azov campaigns. He made a sip of water from the clean spring and called it a rich well. It is here in the 1749, by the edict of Empress Elizabeth, Tamernik custom house was established and they started to build a fortress that was named in honor of Saint Dmitry of Rostov. From that moment, the town started to grow and to develop. Its favorable geographical position contributed to the economic expansion, and by the beginning of the 20th century, Rostov got known far beyond the borders of Russia as a major commercial center and transportation hub. About 100 companies worked here, and every third was foreign-funded. Russian Chicago and Azov Liverpool, Little Moscow and Merchant City. These were a few from the names given to Rostov by travelers. Entrepreneurial spirit of Rostovites was marked on the world. Until 1917, Rostov was the third city in Russia in terms of foreign economic goods turnover. By the end of the 30s, it got into the list of 10 largest cities in the Soviet Union in terms of population and the level of development. For the great success achieved by the city workers in the economic and cultural development, in the performance of 5-year plan tasks for the development of industrial production and branches of engineering and manufacture, city was awarded the Order of Lenin. The Second World War inflicted terrible wounds to the city. It was included to the list of the most affected towns of Russia. After its liberation on the 14th of February in 1943, Rostovites had to rebuild the city. For merit for the fatherland during war years and major contribution to the victory, Rostov-on-Don was awarded the Order of the Patriotic War, first degree, on the 25th of February 1982. On the 5th of May 2008, by the decree of the President, city was awarded honorary degree, City of Military Glory status. Stele dedicated to this event is located at the square near Rostov Airport. Don capital increased in its territory, industrial capacity and trade turnover. Today it is a major business, economic, cultural and scientific center of the south of Russia, through which the major highways cross. Rostov-on-Don, the administrative center of Rostov region and the Southern Federal District, occupies more than 350 square kilometers. It is among the 10 largest cities in Russia in terms of population. More than 1 million people live here. Rostov has access to 5 seas: the Sea of Azov, the Caspian, the Black, the Baltic and the White. It is located in the southeast of the East European plain, on the banks of the Don River, one of the 5 longest rivers in Europe. According to the ancient authors and a number of scientists, here passes the geographical border between Europe and Asia. To get from one continent to another takes just 10 minutes. You should move from one riverbank to another. On the right bank of the great river, the city embankment is located. There are a lot of resting places with pieces of art, bike paths, playgrounds and cafes. This promenade becomes a center of all kinds of holiday outdoor festivities. For a citywide prom, city day, the festival of the River Don and other celebrations, thousands of Rostovites gather here. In spring and summer, the embankment amazes everyone with its violent colors. In winter, when Don is covered with snow, this place looks like a fairy tale. On the left bank, that is called the Lev Berdon among people, there are recreation centers, hotels and restaurants. Here is one of the central objects of the FIFA World Cup 2018. Rostov Arena Stadium is currently under construction. Moderate continental climate with mild winters with little snow and hot long summers gives you an opportunity to travel around the city year-round. Any season suits for walking tours. Trees and bright flower beds, lots of green alleys and city parks allow nobody to stay indifferent. Rostov-on-Don is the city of future. Major intellectual and financial resources are concentrated here. Dozens of major invest projects are brought to life every year. A list of Rostov-on-Don investment projects includes about 150 business ideas totaling more than 300 billion rubles. In the years to come, there will be a number of new hotels opened in addition to the existing and popular with tourists. Among them are 5-star hotel Parus Sudachi, 4-star Ramada and 3-star hotel on Bogotianovsky Street. Such big hotels as Mercure and Don Quixote have already been put into operation. The city has several launch pads for first-time entrepreneurs. Municipal Center for Entrepreneurship Development New Rostov is located in the very heart of the southern capital. It provides free workplaces, office equipment, internet, everything that is needed to run a startup. Under the roof of New Rostov, bright brains are provided with an opportunity to hold conferences, expert evaluations, roundtables, trainings and seminars. First-time entrepreneurs can be given a free advice from experienced specialists on entrepreneurship. In Rostov, historical, architectural, event and business tourism rapidly develops, as well as recreational activities. New tour itineraries are prepared. Among them are weekend programs and long-term stays, culinary journeys and quests. To ensure a comfortable stay for guests and locals, the city has additional signs, informational kiosks, and the historical part of the city is well appointed. Rostov-on-Don guides include the most popular excursions. For fans of gadgets and internet searching, there are active QR codes available. They contain a direct link to the mobile portal, where you can listen to or read some more information about the points of interest and history of the city, and it is made into languages. Sunny city of Rostov-on-Don is energizing and positive. Every year there are a lot of public festivities, festivals and celebrations are held. In September the city celebrates its birthday. Dozens of places around the city organize different exhibitions, promotions and concerts. Along the main street Большая Sadova in the day a march of performance groups is held, and you can see a parade of retromobiles. As a part of the multicultural Rostov Festival of the Day of the City, the representatives of different nationalities that inhabit Rostov demonstrate their cultural peculiarities and culinary masterpieces. The culmination of the festival takes place at the Teatralnaya Square. A tremendous fireworks display concludes the celebration. International Festival of Motivational Movies Bridge of Arts received Rostov residents. It includes an exhibition of motivational movies, sports festival and business forum on film and media content. On the red carpet in the days of the festival you can see film stars of world scale. Gastronomic holiday at Turkey Day every year gathers more and more guests for food tasting. Chefs establish an improvised kitchen in Gorky Park and treat everyone with freshly prepared dishes and organize workshops besides. Event tourism that is currently in great demand is gaining momentum in Rostov. Every summer on the city embankment there is a favorite resting place in Rostov. Don River Festival takes place in which the residents and visitors of Rostov-on-Don participate. Among them are Don Cossacks, representatives of ethnic communities, professional artists and animators, cooks and masters of arts and crafts. All participants take their part in diverse masterclasses, competitions, sport contests, music and dance performances. One of the most significant and tasty in every sense event of the festival is the holiday of Don Uha, or fish soup. All the residents of the city areas demonstrate their skills here, and everyone can enjoy the traditional soup prepared according to the various recipes. Rostov has long been famous for the love for jazz and many talented musicians. The annual International Jazz Festival has become a credit to the Don capital. The variety to the cultural life of the city is added by the local theaters. They delight the audience with loud premieres. Rostov Music Theatre has gained a lot of fame far beyond the region. Many guests of the Don region are willing to visit opera or the ballet to admire the singing, choreography, sets and costumes. Academic Drama Theatre, named after Maxim Gorky, regularly updates its repertoire. The play The Quiet Dawn, based on the novel by the great Russian writer Mikhail Sholokhov, has become one of the main events in the cultural life of the city. Matches its brightness the premieres that are given by the Rostov-on-Don Academic Youth Theatre. Each year it has a dozen of new performances in its repertoire. The theatre performs experiments and tries to look at traditional things in an unusual perspective. Fans of non-standard forms of art are fond of theatre 18+. Young, independent experimental project has resonated with the heart of Rostovites. Большая Sadova is the starting point in most tourist destinations. Here you can find the main administrative agencies and interesting cultural, historical and architectural buildings. An apartment house of Karapet-Chernov, the main building of the Southern Federal University, Martin Brothers House, campus of Commercial Summer Club, trading house of Yablokov, monument to the founders of the fortress of St. Dmitry of Rostov. One of the most significant places of interest is the house of Margarita Chernova, a mansion that was given to the famous actress of the 19th century as a gift from her admirer. The main church of the Rostov epoch is the Cathedral of the Nativity of the Blessed Virgin Mary, that looks very much alike to Moscow Cathedral of Christ the Savior. Today, the cathedral catches sight of everyone who has decided to take a stroll through the beautiful pedestrian lane of Suborny. From here it's stone throw away to Don Embankment with its extraordinary views, beautiful blooming flower beds and numerous sculptures such as Nakhalenok and Shukar, heroes of books by Mikhail Sholokhov. For those who enjoy history or contemporary art, Rostov museums are open every day except for Tuesdays. Tourists and city guests are welcome to the local Law and History Museum, exhibition galleries and to the Museum of Natural History. On the territory of the Железнодорожный area of the city there is a museum of railway equipment of different epochs. It occupies the area of 1900 meters, tracked showpieces in full size. Most of them still work. In terms of its uniqueness, NCRW Museum occupies the second place in Russia after the St. Petersburg exposition. Our southern city, multi-ethnic Rostov, is famous for its hospitality. According to the old Russian custom, with bread and salt, songs and dances, people arriving to Don are greeted. Traditional local cuisine is known far beyond the region. One of the most favorite treats from here is an air-dried bream. Delicious traditional fish soup and local crayfish, cooked according to the best recipes, are offered at different restaurants all over the city. Also, the city has an entire cafe, and recently there appeared the Cats Cafe that rapidly engaged Rostovites' hearts, because an atmosphere of comfort is created by whisked pets. To get some fresh air and a dose of joy of the rides, to eat popcorn and some ice cream, one should go to the city parks. You can find them in every area of the city. The Central Park is named after Maxim Gorky. Here you can find an outdoor performance stage where concerts and festivals are held. On the main alley one can find the exhibition of pictures from the local artists. You can ride with the wind on the carnival ride or any other amusement ride. For a family vacation, horse or pony riding is ideal. Artificial ice rink and the country's biggest spot for a workout are located in the Revolution Park. You can watch the birds here and feed the squirrels. Hundreds of people come here for that purpose. Visitors enjoy mini zoo here as well. It is in this park now new panoramic wheel runs that is called One Sky. The height of the attraction is 65 meters. One of the biggest parks in the city is Ostrovsky Park. It regularly delivers various themed events. Alleys here are equipped with bike paths, and for outdoor activities there is an athletic camp. In this park of Rostov-on-Don, the club Planeta is situated, where everyone who is fond of mountaineering and tourism is welcome. Young train drivers and station masters will greet you at the Children's Railway. To bring brightness in a recreation program, you can participate in the Color Festival. It is held at the various places around the city during the warm months. Along with the festive entertainment, you can have an opportunity to plunge into the world of all colors of the rainbow. Great portion of good mood and fun is guaranteed for those who come. Film fans will not miss any movie premieres in Rostov. All the cinemas of the city present not only high-profile films but also art house on a daily basis. Movie theaters are very popular with the residents and tourists. One can choose any suitable time in every cinema hall of the Don capital. Rostov-on-Don is always in the tour schedule of Russian show business stars and many foreign musical bands. Big concert venues are usually packed. Among them are the Musical Theatre, Philharmonic Hall, Express Concert Hall and the Congress Hall of the STU. Rostov-on-Don is one of the host cities for the 2018 FIFA World Cup. 5 games will take place in our city. Sporting battle will take place at the new stadium, Rostov Arena, located on the left bank of the southern capital. The construction of the stadium began in 2013. This sports area will be able to take 45,000 spectators at the same time. It is designed according to all the FIFA requirements. In the stands there are spots for disabled people provided. The fan zone will be equipped with a great screen to allow everyone to watch all the matches in detail. Nearly 1,500 volunteers assist in the organization of the sports festival. They will acquaint visitors with the Don capital and work at the information desk. The police and stewards will provide security during the FIFA World Cup. The new international airport complex will be opened for the World Cup 2018. It is located in the Aksai district of the Rostov region and promises to be the 5th largest hub in Russia. The length of the airstrip of the new airport and its runway capacity allows to accommodate any type of modern aircrafts. Some interesting excursion routes with convenient navigation are offered to tourists. In this list there are walking excursions and general sightseeing bus tours that include topical, historical, cultural, architectural, industrial and many other kinds of tours. More than 20 travel agencies in Rostov are focused on inbound and domestic tourism. Another step towards improving the quality of tourist reception and service is creation of tourist information centers in our city. There, one can find any consulting and information services. All centers are involved in promotion of the tourism potential of Rostov-on-Don and in popularization of domestic tourism and promotional merchandise. They are located on Sholokhov Ave 2007/1, Bolshaya Sadovaya Street 115 and Bolshaya Sadovaya 45. Rostov-on-Don is youth and family-oriented. In terms of the number of universities, Rostov is among the top 5 cities in Russia. The Don capital has 37 institutions of higher education, including universities, institutes and academies. The largest ones are the Southern Federal University, Rostov State Medical University, Rostov State University of Economics, State Transport University and flagship regional multidiscipline university, that is Don State Technical University. Every year it is Rostov where Russian TV contest Student trophy takes place. Media professionals to be every year manage to surprise the grounds of national television by their creativity. Researchers in the fields of physics, chemistry, robotics and high-tech usually gather for the Festival of Science in southern Russia. One of the largest zoos in Europe also welcomes its guests. Its collection includes more than 5,000 animals, birds and reptiles, including 400 rare species, more than 100 of which are listed in the Red Book. A feather in Rostov's bonnet is a circus situated on Buryanovsky Ave. In the hall, which seats nearly 1,500 spectators, renowned artists such as the Turovs, the Kio and the Zapashnis performed. Today's city circus keeps to delight visitors with their own of vivid guest shows. Water parks of the city offer variants of active family vacation. Fans of extreme sports are choosing water slides of varying heights and difficulty, and those who wish to relax prefer baths and spa area. Among the places for outdoor activities are ice skating rinks, some of which are open all year round. And cycling. To rent a two-wheeled vehicle is available at different companies. You can conduct one's own experiments and to go through the mirror or laser maze. It is available in an interactive museum of science that is called Laboratorium. Quests are another popular kind of entertainment in Rostov. It's a perfect opportunity to relax with family and friends. Several sports around the city offer you to take part in the search for the Philosopher's Stone, or to walk with Alice through the Looking Glass, to solve a case with Sherlock Holmes, or to break the Da Vinci Code. Interactive adventure excursions are available on the embankment of the Don as well. The youngest Rostovites and guests of the regional center are welcome at the Rostov State Puppet Theatre. Our favorite fairy tales characters come to life on stage and elicit all kinds of emotions in the young audience. Rostov-on-Don is the city of education. It has a very rich culture and heritage, and an infinite creativity. Among the objects of cultural heritage are historic buildings, archaeological sites, art in architecture, and monuments of military glory. In the historic area of the city, the 19th century buildings are preserved. A canonic route of any excursion lies among historic buildings. Unique among them is the building of City Council and the administration of Rostov, designed by the architecture academician Alexander Pomerantsev in the style of eclecticism. The building of drama theatre, named after Gorky, is spoken to be the world masterpiece of architecture. It was built in 1935. Its model is exhibited in the London Museum of Architectural History in the Department of Russian Architecture. The building is designed as caterpillar tractor. The theatre memorializes the name of the Soviet writer Maxim Gorky, who, according to some sources, once worked as a docker at the Rostov port. Architectural landmark of the city is Tachanka Monument. It is the symbol of Rostov liberation from the White Guards in 1920. Tachanka is one of the most favorite places for photo shoots for newlyweds and tourists. One cannot leave the center of Rostov without visiting the city's main square, Teatralnaya. Here you can find a memorial complex that was erected in honor of the Soviet soldiers who liberated the city during the Great Patriotic War. In the center of the square, a 72-meter stainless steel stands with a gold-plated figure of a flying goddess of victory. Pushkinskaya Street is one of the most beautiful streets in the city. Part of the street is pedestrian. Here you can find a lot of architectural landmarks that belong to the late 19th, early 20th centuries. In addition to the facades of old buildings, cozy cafes and restaurants, a real gem of the streets are unique sculptures, giant spheres that embody some scenes from life and literary works of the greatest Russian poet. pleasure boats depart from the Rostov embankment every day. The trip usually takes about an hour. Guests are offered and more continuous boat trips to Starocherkassk, Konstantinovsk or Romanovskoye village. Cruise ships that travel from St. Petersburg and Moscow move here at the riverboat station. Plunge into the history of the region is offered by the Rostov Regional Museum of Local History. It has more than 200,000 exhibits in its collection. It is famous all over the world for the unique archaeological collection of ancient gold and silverware. In the music room of the museum you can see music boxes, gramophones, phonographs, barrel organ, and to find out that Rostov-on-Don is the birthplace of Russian operette. Museums, art galleries and the public library that is the largest in the south of the country, alongside with Regional Philharmonic Hall, are an essential part of the life of Rostov and a compulsory part of the educative programs for guests. Rostov-on-Don is a financial and industrial center of southern Russia. Exhibition and trade fair activities develop rapidly in the Don capital. About a dozen of exhibition companies and firms are engaged in the organization of exhibitions. The largest specialized platform among them is Don Expo Center, that hosts over 30 exhibitions and delivers more than 1,000 events every year. The total attendance of the complex exceeds 500,000 visitors a year. Also, exhibitors are always welcome on the territory of Cultural and Sports Center Express, Sports Complex Sport Don and Don Plaza Congress Hall. To discuss some actual and relevant topics, experts from all over the world gather in the capital of the Don region for agricultural, urban, economic, innovative industry forums, congresses and conferences. One of the stages of a Russia nationwide startup tour takes place here. For example, for the first time in 2015, Rostov held All-Russian Food Safety Forum with the support from the Russian government and the government of the Rostov region. The forum was attended by the delegations from 32 regions of the country. The event brought together more than 3,000 experts, the leading players of the Russian food market and representatives of related industries. More and more tourists visit Rostov every year. Cultural, historical, gastronomical, family and business trips are gaining popularity among foreign visitors. Among the advantages of Rostov, tourists usually name convenient logistics, developed infrastructure, a large number of hotels in various price categories and comfortable sites for business events. For those who travel to Rostov on business, many hotels are available in the city, including ones that are situated near the exhibition and congress areas. Every hotel is ready to offer convenience and comfort for the customer. Among them are Don Plaza and Topaz, Mercure, Marines Park Hotel Rostov. Rostov-on-Don is an extraordinary city, and people who live here are the same. They are beautiful, energetic and hospitable. If you have not been with us, it's a high time to choose this destination point to get unforgettable emotions and impressions. Rostov-on-Don is waiting for everyone with a great desire to show its attractions, extraordinary beauty and unique traditions of the Don. Rostov-on-Don is a city that will definitely touch everyone's feelings. It is a city where life flows like a river.